Oh, thank you, you lovely audience out there clapping and ending it.
Dude, I love your new intro.
That is Perry Chan. Perry Chan is a master debater and editor, so he's a brilliant man.
Well, that guy's worth his weight in gold. That's hilarious.
He is. Just don't let it go to his head. He's gonna ask for a raise. He's working right now. He's working hard on Nerdrotic Daily. Go subscribe over there. Welcome everybody to the Nerdrotic Nooner. Very special show. A very special episode of Blossom today because we have the director of one of my favorite movies of all time, and I love Boondock Saints 2. Famous story. We went and saw it opening day in a packed theater, Troy, and my wife was the only woman in the theater.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
She was very proud of that. She loves you too.
Is that why you married her?
That's why you lock it down, man. When you find the right one, you lock it down. That's
you want to hear that. This was the biggest surprise I think I ever had in the movie business. Right before we did 2, Sony paid for this huge demographic study on the Saints and the fan base and all this shit. And our fan base breaks 49-51 men. It's almost half and half, man.
That's awesome.
It is awesome, but it was totally unpredictable. Like every time I meet a woman that likes it, I'm like, why? It's like such a man movie. So it's just fueled.
That's why they like it
the whole time.
That's why they like it.
Testosterone.
Because women actually like men, despite
real women like real men.
That's right.
Manly men.
That's why it becomes a litmus test. Do you like Boondock Saints? All right, I'm going to take you out.
It was in San Francisco, so there's probably a bunch of gay men in there. So.
Oh yeah, wow, it's just as good. Same shit.
Yep, same thing. So we have Troy Duffy, writer, director, creator, Boondock Saints. He's got a book out, audiobook out.
Yes.
That is a prequel to the Boondock Saints called Blood Origins.
I found out something fun the other day. It's actually called. There's a name for this. Do you know what a requel is?
Yes.
I figured you'd fucking know it.
There are so many quills out there. I had to look up a list. There's like 20.
Yeah, so and I guess what it is the you start with an origin story, but then at some point you come into the what is the present day of the movie, like you start in Connor Murphy's childhood and you see the brothers grow up, you meet their mother and all this stuff happens. But then they're in Boston, which is the beginning of Boondock 1, right?
Yeah.
At least it feels out. It's a whole new story that happens there in the book, but we're requel, bro.
I love it. And I can't, hopefully we'll see. Are we ever going to see an adaptation of this? Has that been talked about at all?
Yeah, actually the for Boondock Saints Volume 1 Blood Origin, that was basically what we were going to do with the TV show. Like 2 years ago, I had the choice of either TV show or movie. I had to pick movie on that one because of these fans. They want those boys, particularly those boys in peacoats, killing guys the Boondock way. So we couldn't do a television show. So I essentially took a lot of the story and stuff that we were going to put in a TV show, stuck it and wrote the book. But like you, we talked about this last time. Writing a book, that was an intimidating process to me. It's almost like screenplays almost seem like child's play. You want to step on the porch with the big dogs and be an actual author. I am a novelist now. So I did it, and I took that, and the other part of it came from fans. They would ask me all these questions over the years, over the last it's been a quarter of a century now. They would ask me all these questions, and some of them were kind of logical, like why didn't they know their father? Or where did they grow up in Ireland? And then you'd get these really specific things like how'd they meet Rocco? And I'm like, why would you even be interested in that? It's an odd thing, but I knew I had to kill that one, because so many fans were interested in it. So I had to answer all their questions over the last 25 years. And it just kind of built up this requel story.
I love it. Well, I mean, it hasn't gone away. The one thing, I know you have no power over this, but Boondock Saints needs a 4K remaster. Like,
You think so?
oh yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I'm not right.
A bunch of people. Well, you had a Mondo Steelbook, which I own, which is beautiful. It's got beautiful art on the cover. But yeah, it definitely needs a 4K remaster. I think everybody in the chat would agree with me. By the way, if you haven't seen Boondock Saints, I'm kind of a fan of the movie. All right, a little bit of a fan of the movie. And like we talked about it all the time in the comic shop. It was kind of the comic shop's local favorite there, which is weird because we were in like very liberal San Francisco, but a lot of people loved it. So yeah, and it had a cultural impact, and it was it benefited greatly from the previous few years, where the 90s we were just talking about, was a boom for indie films. It was if you weren't alive at that time, well, you're a bunch of old farts in this chat, so you were alive at the time. But oh, and by the way, our audience demographic is like freaking 9% women. So show yourselves, lady. But lady, but no, we were just talking about like back in the 90s, we had an indie film. It felt like once a week that was worth watching and good. And they were beating, in a lot of cases, the tentpole movies.
Yep.
And we had this little art theater in Hillcrest where I lived at the time. I was going there every weekend watching something brilliant, and it started with for me, it started with Pulp Fiction, and then I just kind of like went down the indie rabbit hole with that. And I ended up liking Reservoir Dogs much better, but it came out when I was in prison, so I had to watch it on Vidya. But yeah, and Hollywood really misses that, right? But like your movie, even though it came out later, felt like it is definitely from that era. It dawned from that era, and we all know the storied history it has of its making. I mean, back when I wouldn't say guerrilla filmmaking, but definitely rebellious filmmaking was still a thing, and cool.
Yeah, and we all were doing things because we didn't know you couldn't do them. There was a naivety to it, but somehow that all translated to the celluloid, like with a lot of these movies, man. I mean, it's like it's the death of the independent film. Is what it is, and I was asking you before, but tell us, and maybe Gore, give us your opinion on this. What the fuck happened? What happened with independent film?
Well, it got co-opted, basically. I mean, what Gary was saying, I was going to interrupt you because you were right. Gary, you're so right. There was an energy in the 90s that was palpable, that was different, that was new, that was violent, that took risks, that gave no fucks. And now indie movies are A24 pussy shit, which is a division of Warner Brothers. So, you know what I mean? It's like been co-opted, and it's a brand. It's sort of a name. And now you look at like the Independent Spirit Awards is nothing. It's a shell. It's low budget studio movies, which they don't even make anymore. So there was in the 90s that rise of indie film. It was Kevin Smith, Quentin, Robert Rodriguez. Like it was anything goes. And now we're worried about offending people. Fuck that shit. Yeah,
so, I'm thinking, I mean, did wokeness creep in there or something? Because
but it was always there. It was always there.
Yeah.
The indie films were always kind of like progressive.
Yeah.
But they weren't lectury. They weren't like, you're bad if you think this. They're like, here's some crazy wild ideas to think about. You decide. Now they tell you what to think. That's like most Hollywood movies and indie movies now. Like there's an assumption. This really fucking sucks too. There's an assumption that we all think the same way. When I say we, I'm like at a screening at like Beyond Fest or something, and someone may make an anti-Trump like remark or like fuck Trump and fuck ICE, and it's like there's an assumption that it's safe and everyone exactly thinks the way you do.
Yeah,
but they don't. I know this from people in the WGA, IATSE. They get emails from the Writers Guild that are like, we have to now stand up. They like
Yeah.
what Hollywood did, Gary, you've said this, they picked a side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They chose a side and said, we're on this team. And if you're not on this team, you're not one of us. I had a friend, I fucking hate Gavin Newsom. And if you're paying attention or intelligent, you also would despise what a horrible. I live here. I have seen the decline of California. And I reply, I'm a reply guy to Gavin Newsom.
Oh shit.
I talk shit to him, and a friend I've known for 25 years who probably doesn't pay attention to me said, "Oh, comma, you're one of them. Them? Fuck you. Fuck you." And this is the media. This is MSNBC, CNN, like propagandizing people to hate other Americans. So this is the media landscape in which film exists. You try to circumnavigate that to be creative. It's like landmines of like, well, if I have a certain type of character, they can't be bad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad guy's always the white guy. If it's a black lesbian, she's virtuous and perfect and can do no wrong, or at least you understand her point of view, and it makes storytelling boring. I'm not saying you can't do that and make it interesting. Sure, white guys are great bad guys in movies, but does it always have to be that way? It makes movies, wokeness made movies predictable and fucking boring. And the 90s was a, anything goes era of experimentation that made indie film like your movie was born of that era, made it great. Fucking great. You gave no fucks. Characters. I mean, that was the best part of it.
Yeah.
It was a passion,
Well, now it would be.
I'll get off my.
His film now will be judged for its religious iconography. It's they would call it fascist. They would call all that bullshit. And again, incredibly popular at the time in San Francisco, which wasn't exactly right wing even 20 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So the foundation of woke that's ruined everything, to kind of add to what Chris said, is when you're not being preachy and you're approaching your audience member with, these are just characters. They're individual humans that we're showing in this texture of art, and we're not judging them. Obviously, one will be an antagonist, one will be a protagonist. Now they're telling you how to feel beforehand. And that's where it becomes predictable. And that's where, if they want to like slip in a message or some kind of morality tale, it gets lost. And now your delivery system of art that could be for anything now becomes prejudice, and people become prejudiced against it because we're feeling like the people who are making this art hate us. So why should I even watch this? And that destroys any kind of camaraderie or togetherness you can have in the cinematic experience. So by choosing a side, you told half of America to fuck off, who are now not going to listen to any of your ideas. And imagine like that with Star Trek. Star Trek definitely, run by leftist people, left-wing people, like liberal people, which is fine. Yeah. But they never treated the other side of the audience like shit, like ever. And you know what? A lot of Republicans like Star Trek, a lot. And a lot like the idea of it. And it was a place where we can come together, even if you're doing a political like indie film, because that's kind of the place where you can do that, like one woke after another, tells half of the country to go F itself,
Antifa the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, side note, a movie called Deliver Me from Nowhere about Bruce Springsteen, starring Jeremy Allen White. You would put in an indie spirit kind of category. It's Oscar bait, biopic. I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan. Never liked his music, whatever. I really enjoyed this movie.
Oh, really?
Really enjoyed it. It's about depression, how he made this album, Nebraska, about creativity. The movie fucking bombed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why it bombed.
Because Bruce Springsteen music sucks? Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, but I'm not a fan. I was like, oh, God, I'm going to see. It's like the Chalamet movie from last year, kind of like that. But I
Bob
went in, I
Dylan.
was open-minded. I'm going to judge it as a film. Really like the movie. Do not love this music. Have an appreciation for him. But the movie freaking bombed at the box office. Why, Gary? Why is that? Because Springsteen recently has been just shitting on half the country. It's not a winning strategy. And Hollywood will never learn this lesson.
You don't think so? I mean, I think
they're doomed.
We were talking last time about like how much bad stuff, Newsom related bad stuff, needs to happen to California before they finally start just changing their leadership and so before sense gets made to these people. Like the last time we were on, it was those big Pacific Palisades burned to the ground like the day before, and I was like, "There's got to be. I mean, this has to be the moment. If there's going to be a moment where they'll finally go, all right, that's it. We got to stop this shit. That would be it." But it didn't. It's still they're still like that, and it's amazing to me. And you're right, Gary. I mean, today you would see these movies wouldn't be made unless they'd read Boondock Saints and say you need a lesbian space witch from the Acolyte to make this work, you know. And it's just so I just look at it simply as storytelling. When it comes to like messages in movies, yeah, you know, sure, you can like look at themes like saying Boondock, it's good guys against the bad, or truth and justice, or God v. man, whatever you want to call it, capital punishment as it relates to vigilance. You can have deeper conversations, but that ain't what I'm going for. I'm trying to make a movie I'd pay $10 to go see, not feel like I got ripped off, and have a good time with some fun characters and doing some wild shit. That's pretty much it, you know? So as an author, this is one of the things, I hope you don't find this out I just found this out in the book world. The reason we had to self-publish was because we got turned down by publishers left and right. And my book guy didn't understand it. This is a guy, he's been in the business forever, did a bunch of huge books. And you'd think, you know, hey, it's Boondock Saints. What more do we have to talk about here, right?
Right.
But they have sensitivity readers now,
right?
And it's crept into the literary business. And I thought to myself, first of all, I thought sensitivity readers, we're fucked.
Yeah,
we are totally fucked. If it's, I mean, half the sausage is made by complete politically incorrect insensitivity with Boondock.
Yes,
and we can't change that, right? So the other part I thought about it, just what we've been talking about, except in terms of books. Charles Bukowski would not get published today.
Nope.
Hunter S. Thompson. Right. Hunter S. Thompson. We wouldn't have any gonzo journalism.
Nope.
We wouldn't have, you know, to live and die. We wouldn't have some of the greatest authors if it's just like some sensitivity reader can go, well, this seems a little like it really affected me and made me sad.
Well, Gary, you and I were having a conversation last night and determined why everything sucks now. And it's kind of good. It's a kind of controversial thing.
What, women?
It's
women in publishing and women with no sense of humor. There's plenty of women out there that love, I mean, they're here. Like 9% of them. But what gets attracted in publishing, Chris, you know this. We know a publisher who's not like this, who's a woman, and she even brings it up that it's a certain type of ideology, a certain type of political slant that will not allow any of that to where all masculinity is toxic masculinity. So I mean. There's no chance your book was going to get published by a lot of these publishers, Troy.
I know, but think about your book too, Gary. You can't tell I found out about your story the last time we talked, and I was like, whoa, I had no idea about any of that. But one of the things I know is you as an author, you can't tell your story and get it past a sensitivity. You know, how could you tell the story of Gary Biegler and all that shit that happened without you know, being politically incorrect? I mean, basically, that's kind of who you are at your heart. But in your life story is some pretty hard things, dude. And I mean, what do you? You
Yeah,
can't just gloss over that shit.
No, you can't like gloss over the reality of like how you survive in prison. And, I don't know if that made the cut in the book, to be honest with you. I'll have to double check. But it was a guy telling me, don't mess with the gays. Don't do drugs. Don't gamble. No pruno. Do not snitch. Mind your own business, and you'll be fine. That's your 6 survival notes to prison. It was pretty easy. Not gay. I don't like to gamble. I wasn't going to touch a drug for the rest of my life because, unfortunately, I did because I relapsed. But man, I was plenty scared like all the time when I got in there. But yeah, there's some hardcore stuff in it. Yeah. But like,
you must have seen some shit too, right?
Horrible stuff.
Other guys broke the rules. I'm suspecting
they did. I like the first time I actually saw somebody get shot was in there because and that's crazy seeing somebody get shot for the first time, right? I'm just like this little nerdy kid, right? Who was in suburbia, so I got into some trouble and fights, but I have never. There was a riot at Folsom, and in the yard. And they start with the rubber bullets, and then they go to real bullets. If people don't go down right away, you have to like. There's a shot, you hit the ground. If you don't hit the ground, then it's a rubber bullet. It might have changed since then for anybody in the chat. And then the next one's a round. And dude just got
now they just let him out, right?
Now they just let him out.
It's like fine, we're not even going to prosecute. You're good.
Tell
after
me that
30
story's in the book, though, right? That story's in the book.
Yes,
about the prison riot.
Yeah,
good. All right. Hopefully that gets past the sensitivity readers.
Well, I mean, hey, that's why we went independent. That's why, Chris was nice enough to hook me up with somebody who was not going to tell me what to do, like at all. And we got to do whatever we wanted, got hooked up with I had help, Troy, because I can't write a fucking sentence. And we were just talking about the audiobook. Sounds great on your end, by the way. I checked out the first chapter. Yeah, I'm having a hard time. It's going to be long.
Way harder than people think, man. When we sit there and read books, I don't know about you, but I just kind of hear the words in my head and I let it kind of play through my head. When you actually have to read out loud into a microphone, you find out what a complete idiot you are. Like 3rd grade level reading capacity. Like you can't talk. First couple of days in the studio, even the guy behind the the glass, the engineer, was like, what is wrong with you, dude? I've done a couple of these and they just sit there and read and I just couldn't get a hold of it it took me a couple of days, but I did get a hold of it eventually.
Yeah, I'm doing it right here.
You're doing it right there in the studio?
I'm doing it right here in the studio. And I had to because I'm so blind. So I print it out and I'm like at, 24 font and there's like 5 words on a page, but I can't read it small.
Dude, and the breaths. I don't know if you've had this yet, but the breathing. You're so close to the mic. They have this program that goes and pulls out all the breaths. Thank God.
Yeah.
I was just listening to this. I'm like, am I going to have a freaking heart attack? That's probably what a listener is thinking right now. But yeah, it's way harder than I thought. And they have to go through and edit every chapter. And I ended up, dude, I don't know how long your book is, but I ended up with 18 hours.
Yes, you did.
Of an audiobook, which is like well over double the size that they should be. Kept the price the same, give the fans more bang for their buck. But yeah, that was like, at the end of it, you lose track, right? You lose track. I mean, I'm not timing the chapter and so when adding things up and at the end, I'm like, hey, how long is this?
There it is right there. It's purchased, ready to go.
There it is.
There it is.
On your device. Get it at Audible. And get the ebook on Amazon if you want.
17 hours, 35 minutes left.
There you go. Wow. And we did I got advanced copies to a bunch of randomly chosen fans. Did a round table the other day. They're loving it. They're going to do that thing like you guys remember with Boondock, people would they'd watch it over and over again and have competitions and all this shit. They're going to start listening to it like that. And then something weird came up. It's like, because it's also for crime thriller readers. You don't have to know Boondock Saints. And, one girl was like, hey, what about the guy that gets the book first and then goes and watches the movie. You know, that might be a bit of a wild experience.
It might be. Oh, that'd be cool. I wish I could experience that.
I think so too, but I just like, the book. Isn't it true for you guys that the book is almost always better than the movie, but we reversed it here, right? The movie comes out first and then the book. So I'm not quite sure how to kind of figure that out.
Quentin did that with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He did
he
a
did?
novelization of his movie, and now he's doing all of his movies. He's doing novelizations. He just did a deal. I just bought the audiobook myself. Hey, did we say hi to X-Ray Girl?
Hi, X-Ray Girl.
Hey, there you go.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't remember if we did that. We
did.
just launched right in.
We just launched
It's
right in.
good.
We were all
hi at the
talking.
beginning.
We were all talking before you got on, Gore. Everybody
Yeah.
said hi.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm all jacked up on my coffee, so I'm good.
I need more coffee.
Geek Grind coffee.
All right.
They made it
back.
strong. They made it fucking strong, which is good. So, the book, audiobook is available, and there's a guest. Can I say that there's a guest appearance in that audiobook?
Oh, there is a guest appearance. One Gary Beekler.
Yeah.
Lines, and it was beautiful. Chris Gore kind of fagged out on me. He was
I
supposed
did
to
fag
jump
out.
in there.
I
He's
did.
like, I don't really do that.
Oh, Chris, what the hell? So, yeah,
I don't
Chris.
know. I didn't understand. Whatever. I didn't.
All right. Well, the whole book.
I feel like an idiot. but
The
whatever.
whole book is me talking. Then you get like a couple of Beekler lines, which worked out great. And then there's only one other voice, and it's this dude that plays a Greek guy with an accent. I just happen to know this awesome friend of mine who was Greek. That's it. So it's probably like 17 hours and 30 minutes of me, and then there's about 5 minutes of two other guys. But now I always think about it in terms of like me being retired in some old Scottish castle, wearing a fur, staring into a fire, and listening to my audiobook and hearing my other friends' voices and seeing, what was happening back then. And I talked to Rocco because the only other, we were getting I was getting so much love from fans on my voice, which I did not expect. And I was like, you know what? It's because I decided to do it myself because we love the audiobooks where the author.
Yes.
Like I want to. That's why you're doing it, Gary. I mean, the guy that lived through all that and wrote that book, that's the dude's voice that I want to hear. So I did it for those reasons. But then I thought, wow, it could really use Rocco. So I put him on the spot in front of a bunch of fans the other day. I'm like, hey, would you consider giving your voice on volume 2? Or maybe we can go like plug you in volume 1 and hit the fans with, hey, get that, and Rocco's voice is in there. But I think he's going to do it.
They're good.
I think he's going to do it on the
Good.
second one.
Well, thanks for asking me. It was awesome. Glad I could do it, and I can't wait to hear my part. See how I actually pulled it off.
It's also you. I was looking at it. It's so freaking long. You can pretty much find, it's about movies and shit. So it really worked out well.
Yeah, it
dude.
did. That was a good pick. That was a good pick. So they are doing, and we talked about it last time you were on. They're doing a movie, but you're not going to be involved in that movie. Are you like just producing it or producer credit on it?
Producing and writing, but they've
Oh, good.
just
You're writing it. Okay, good.
I wrote. They had to make the deal on a property, so the property was my script for 3. They at first what they wanted to do was kind of they want to do a 3, 4, and 5 and add the Thunder Road sauce to it. So Thunder Road are the guys that did John Wick and Sicario. They're basically the action franchise.
Hell
teams.
yeah.
They want to, I basically gave it to them and said, like, this is your problem now. Go ahead and do it. And they want to really elevate the franchise. So they're bringing in another writer who they're going to preserve some of the muscles and bones of what I did and put their kind of special twist on it in order to do a quick, and in order so fans don't have to wait 15 years between movies,
Mm-hmm.
They want to do a 3, 4, and 5. So yeah, I'm out of the director's chair. I gave that up right away. Norman's got to work with like A-listers now, and I get the whole thing. I'm just like, all right, you guys get a script, because it's been 2 years and they kind of went down the road with some other writers. Came back, did not work for anybody, and now they've got a writer that's got like some sequel credibility, and everybody's excited, and we'll see. But they got like, you know, they got a good few months to lay something down and jump on that sort of first quarter of 2026 in terms of starting filming. So far as I know, we're looking pretty good now.
Let's go. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. We have an article that I think it would be good to talk with you about that I actually haven't gotten completely over it, but I never do. We like to do it live from Deadline.
What's up?
What's up with the fallout for adult upscale movies? Well, I'm glad they said upscale, because other adult movies, the short form ones, are doing just fine. Upscale movies at the fall box office. So basically like the Oscar bait stuff. Yeah. And in a town that still enjoys the prestige of championing original content, Hollywood, really? Our tour-driven adult fare for the big screen. The fall's box office has given studio executives cause for concern. 20th Century Studios, which is now Disney, by the way. Much hope for awards contender biopic Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, was no Bob Dylan or Bob Marley at the box office, with an 8.88 million opening and a B+ cinema score. Well, it's Bruce Springsteen, okay? Bob Marley, I understand. There's a bunch of stoners out there who love Bob Marley, right? Bob Dylan, still a bunch of boomers who like Bob Dylan. And that movie wasn't, like, bad. Like, Timothy Chalamet was actually pretty good in it. And it was James Mangold, who can direct really well outside of Lucasfilm. But then Amazon MGM Studios, which is, you're going to see an underlying theme here. Amazon MGM Studios, which is Amazon, 70 million to 80 million. Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield dramatic thriller After the Hunt. I didn't even hear this, Chris. When did this come out?
After the Hunt. Yeah, that came out like a couple weeks ago. It's a movie about Me Too, and a guy might have raped a girl, but then you find out she lied. And what a great movie that everyone wants to see.
I don't understand. All right, keep.
Anyways,
Well, I don't understand what the hell happened here. I mean, Bruce Springsteen is a huge dude, and Chris said the movie was great. I trust his opinion. If it was good, what the hell happened?
I think people are sick of this shit. I really do. I like the Oscar movies are not performing. And I think, objectively, some of these movies not so great, like After the Hunt. Some are decent. I've seen some really good ones recently. Song Sung Blue with Hugh Jackman is fucking amazing. So good. But they don't really, I think the audience for these kinds of movies has plummeted, especially in light of the dwindling Oscar ratings. I mean, over the last few years, it's gone so far south. It was an event like the Super Bowl. Academy Awards was an event. The gay Super Bowl, if a lot of people called it. But it's just these movies are not resonating with people. I think a lot of it is what we spoke about earlier. The messaging and the predictability of the story based on the identities of the people, the box checking you have to do. Paul Thomas Anderson literally was like box checking everything in the movie.
Yes.
I've got this character and this, and the white guy, white supremacist. I mean, by the time you've seen the 100th movie that features a white racist person, you're like, fuck this shit. I'm bored. It's boring.
Didn't Springsteen do something where he was like bitching about America to a foreign audience, like in France or something?
Yep.
Yeah. He was, just shitting on Trump supporters, whatever. And he has a right to say that. But then people who are Trump supporters have a right to go, I don't give a fuck what you do anymore, not buying your albums, not seeing your movie. And that played out at the box office. And Jeremy Allen White he's very popular in The Bear. I haven't watched that. I watched one episode, pieced out. I was fine. But I like that actor a lot.
Yeah.
And you know,
was he the kid from God, what was that TV show about the fucking crazy family in Canada?
The Korean one?
No. I might not be thinking about the same. I am. It was God, I'm so shitty with names. I would pay for the ability to remember all the names of people.
You're on the right podcast. We will sit here and play charades and try to figure out he was that guy and he was in this and blah blah blah. That's
Shameless.
Shameless. There you go. Yeah. Shameless. Yeah, that guy freaking good. I love that guy.
Yeah, the chat always knows. The chat
They're
always
so
knows. So it's a major PR problem, right? So with Bruce Springsteen, like, if you want to go out there and critique Trump on his policy, I don't think anybody really. People just roll their eyes and like, what does some stupid adult pretender know about policy? But it's always Trump and his supporters. It's that little addition and his supporters. That's where people go, wait a minute. Fuck you. Listen, singer boy, what do you know about my life? What do you actually know about the working man aside from pretending to sing about it? That, like, you know nothing about it at all. Mm-hmm. Music was, in Bruce Springsteen's time, the most prominent form of art was music. Nothing was bigger than being a rock star back in the 70s and 80s. Not a movie star, nothing. You were at the top as a rock star. Movie stars wanted to be rock stars. Yeah. And bands and people like Springsteen would sell out stadiums regularly. New bands would sell out stadiums. That doesn't happen anymore. But and that's indicative of like how we went over this on Friday Night Tights. Political commentator named Matt Walsh went over like how pop culture is dead. He was partially right, left out a lot of stuff, but he was partially right, and it might have peaked in 2008. And I don't entirely disagree. There's a lot of factors, but that underlying factor, that foundation of sand, is picking a side politically and pissing off half your potential audience on something that was probably in decline anyway. You just hastened it. So also, we have MGM owning. MGM is owned by Amazon, so not that it was like a studio that was kicking ass, but it was still an independent studio. That's gone. Fox, gone. That was a huge studio. That was a huge studio that produced anywhere between 16 to 20 major releases a year. Was completely erased. And they're run by Disney, and those two studios, as you know, totally different philosophies towards filmmaking. Like Fox was better than Disney. Fox was more experimental. They tried different things. Yes, they put out like X-Men is a great example. Chris, they put out some shitty X-Men movies and they put out some great ones because they took chances. Disney ain't making Deadpool, the first Deadpool movie. They're never making that movie. Fox barely made that movie. And now we're going to have another one probably go, Warner Brothers. And it's going to get swallowed up by a studio that's arguably smaller and less prominent, which is crazy. So that's part of your problem. And you're killing your minor leagues here. So as Chris goes over, Chris sees a movie every day almost. Chris sees pretty much every indie movie. But what you were saying earlier, Troy, was the problem is distribution now, is getting them out there, getting people to give you money. And I think those days are done.
I think part of it is there's a culture around movie going. For example, the Alamo Drafthouse, which I love. You probably know that. Yeah. They really train their audience to show up early, watch the weird trailers and weird videos they show. They can show some weird, obscure movie or some Korean horror film or they've trained their audience to like, here's some, it's almost like I'm not a foodie. I could care less about food. I eat food so I don't die.
Sustenance.
But like I am a movie in the standpoint of I need movies to live, all kinds, and you get a taste of like Korean horror or a taste of an Irish film or a British comedy or a taste of this. You're trained to like, I like all these very different kinds of films. And among those, I do like big blockbuster, superhero or sci-fi or whatever. I like those too, in addition to a small indie movie by some unknown filmmakers. But so the thing is, what they've done is they've now trained audiences. When you go to the movies, the fifth time you see a movie that wasn't very good, after a while, you start to say, maybe I don't like doing this. I mean, if you order from a pizza place and after the fifth, sixth time the pizza's not good, you stop ordering pizza from that place. And that's what Hollywood is now. If you look at the top 10 box office over the last year, movies that have been in the top 10 are old movies. Jaws was in the top 10. Back to the Future comes out this weekend. Old movies that an audience that did not experience them when they first came out are now seeing. These are in the top 10 now. Because what Hollywood is serving, the pizza that Hollywood is serving, people have had enough taste to go, I don't like modern movies. And that's my rant. So
Good rant. I think, because now that kind of opens up the door to there's two things happening here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening in the industry financially with studio mergers that's really taking a piece and damaging our independent films, the idea that they'll even be made. But there's also the audience, which has now become offended. I mean, I'm looking at this Springsteen thing. That's the only thing I can come up with, and I think you're both right. I think the audience was offended by a lot of the things he said, and the critiques that didn't seem to have any knowledge of policy behind them, just like ranting liberals, right?
Yeah.
So I if that's happening, if we're as an audience, we are gravitating and being gravitated towards incredibly short form things. We need something less than 3 minutes on social media or 30 seconds. And we're going to movie theaters every once in a while, getting disappointed, and they're dying. That's also because of us. So there's a viewer change here too. And that I hate. It's like when you said I'm into independent films and, the big blockbuster superhero films, that's like most of the people, as far as I'm concerned. Most of the people I know, they love those things. Everybody's got their favorite indie that I know, or their favorite rack of them, and their favorite great superhero movies. But what's happening now to the audience, man, and what's happening to independent film? Because, I mean, they're calling them, mid-level adult dramas and all that. But really, these are independent films. This is the independent film world. And, I was wondering what you guys thought about this. I was having a talk with a fellow filmmaker the other day. And he was like, people get pretty precious when it comes to independent films. Guess what? Just like regular films, most of them suck. The indies you're talking about are the cream of the crop, that, Hollywood got behind at some point and made and distributed, and we all got to see them. But even back then, they were making shit. Most people can't do this right, basically. So, I mean, as you I'm doing what I can. I'm teaming up with some people right now to do what I can and try to kind of solve this problem, or do what I can to address it, or get some fucking indies made and out there. And it's you also got to make the good ones, man. For every Pulp Fiction, you got 100 indies that were made that sucked.
Yep. But there was enough good to balance that all that bad. And that's the same with music and everything, particularly with indies. But what's really hurting this is your tent poles suck. So you're not bringing in those tent poles make everything else happen, as you know, and they're fucking awful. And right now, like, it's not even that they suck. They're not releasing anything. Chris, you just met, I don't know what movie's coming out this weekend. Freaking Back to the Future could be number one.
Nothing. No big movie from Hollywood is opening this week. Halloween weekend. Not even a big horror film.
Yeah.
It's a couple of indies.
And
some
Halloween's on
Fathom
Friday,
events.
Chris. Like, how could they not?
Back to the Future's coming out. I mean, it's weird. There's some, and everything coming out is there's 3 tent poles and a bunch of indies. Some may break out, like Christie with Sydney Sweeney. You know, I could talk a lot about
That's a tent pole. That's a tent pole.
It
That's
is.
an indie.
It's a tent pole for some.
Oh, yeah.
It's her movie about a real life female boxer.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's really good, but that's an indie movie that is. It may. By the way, she may get an Oscar nomination for Best Actress. She may get. It's very much, and Gary will know this. You'll know this, Troy. The movie Star 80, great film.
Yeah.
Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of that. It's got that kind of, and there's nothing preachy in the movie at all. Nothing at all. Just a
I got my
biopic of a real person.
I got my fingers crossed for that one because the trailer looked. I mean, she's so hot and she looks so not. I was like,
Yeah.
when they do that. Remember when they did that with what was it, Animal? Again, with what's her name? She played Eileen Wuornos, the serial killer.
Monster. Charlize Theron. Yeah.
Charlize Theron. I mean, she was unrecognizable. Just in the trailer for that fight movie, she looks unrecognizable. And they do that sometimes. And you know what? It usually works because Monster was awesome too.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, nothing's coming out this weekend. Halloween, which, you know, do people probably don't go to the movies necessarily on Halloween, but check out a horror film, a new horror film. Sure. It's the box office is dead.
Well, let me ask you something, Gary. You're right. I mean, the theory is that the tent poles keep the lights on. The studio's moving forward, and the ability to make maybe other sort of adult mid-levels or indies. But are the tent poles doing their job? I mean, they shelved Batgirl. I'm not quite sure. We never got to see anything. But this kind of reminds me of the sort of, what was that? What was the superhero movie that was super woke, all brand new characters?
Like
Eternals?
The Eternals.
The Eternals. Yes.
Yeah. These movies aren't making the money. They're financial disasters, and you can probably name 10 off the top of your head.
Well, I mean, all the superhero movies lost money this year. All of them, despite
all of
like
them.
Superman didn't lose as much, and it might make it. It's not going to make it on merchandise, folks. I know I keep hearing this merchandise shit. There's no James Gunn Superman merchandise moving at all, but they could make it back in VOD or whatever. But they would be making, they would be scratching out a profit that might pay for the catering. So that's not a success. So the superhero movie is taking it in the shorts, and it's because they kept. They thought they could just make anything and the fans would show up. Eternals, you bring up Eternals specifically. Kevin Feige and Esposito said that we chose these characters, Jack Kirby characters, by the way, not his best comic, but it looked really cool. But they chose them specifically so they could change them because they wouldn't be attached to any. There was no fandom attached to them. So like we did this so we can race and gender swap everybody. And it failed completely. And you got a Hollywood darling, Chloe Zhao, who might be a nice person, but she can't direct a superhero movie at all. And she had no experience doing it. And that was 3 years ago. It's only gotten worse since then. And now when they are trying to right the ship, both Marvel and Superman and DC are trying to right the ship in their way. Okay. They can't. They don't even know how. They don't know how. And the audience is gone. They're just gone for that.
I'm wondering how if all these movies keep failing and they're supposed to be the tent poles that keep the studios running, how the hell are they keeping the lights on over there?
We'll find out at the end of this year because outside of Avatar, which is going to make all the money in the world, there is Zootopia 2, which will probably do well, and Wicked, the second part of Wicked, which will probably do well, and nothing else for the rest of the year. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know how theaters that have insane rent and they take up a lot of space in land and these are high tech theaters now. I don't know how they stay in business. I think next year we won't hear about the financial woes until like next quarter or a quarter after, but you're going to see some layoffs and some theaters closing for sure. And they delayed. They had stuff they could have released this year, and they pushed it a lot of it to next year for I don't know what reason. But Mortal Kombat 2 was ready to go, and they decided to push that and that actually looked kind of good. Not that it was going to be this massive hit, but it's something. We got Predator Badlands coming out too.
Next week.
Yeah,
just keep our fingers crossed on that one. But this reminds me of do you remember every article about every massive failure was like, the Eternals failed because it's and why that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah. You did a thing on that recently, and I loved it. It was almost as good as Lesbian Space Wish from The Acolyte, but it drives me nuts, right? Because I remember back when they were doing that, they were even trying to sell us. I don't know if you guys ever got dinged out by this, but do you remember the spate of woke comedians stand up?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. It was so bad because they were they brought in all these, woke reviewers. Oh my God, they're so great. That's so funny. And then you see some of it on the internet. You're like, oh my God. And they like anything. They could just be like, Trump's a Nazi. And you'd get that kind of liberal anger laughter. Like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Ha, ha.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's the state of late night television. That's hell. The Boys TV show, a superhero show. That's pretty much all it is too. It's Trump sucks. Am I right? Yeah. I'm a legend. And we just saw a trailer, thanks to Chris, for like a real comedy last night, and that's part of the problem. That the ecosystem of Hollywood is dying off. It's losing its indie films, as we're seeing here. So that's their minor leagues, and that we've lost the comedy, right? So there's a comedy called Fuck 'em All, Fuck 'em Hall,
Fack 'em Hall,
Fack 'em Hall.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be like an airplane parody of like Downton Abbey, and it looks pretty fucking funny, man. It looks pretty good. We need that's a sign of healing, but until that happens, but if we go over the rest of the article here, it's basically saying what I just said. It is the indie film and the Oscar bait film, which is where you build prominence. You get a big actor to take a pay cuts for an award, and that might build up another director or another writer that you might not have heard of. That's over. It's over. So the only people who care about the Oscars now are Hollywood. We're going to keep seeing these ratings go down. One battle after another is going to get nominated for 13 Oscars, Chris? That's my guess.
Everything. Yeah.
And it's going to win it all.
And it's going to turn off the audience. It's like, wait, what? This movie glorifies Antifa, glorifies a lot of things that most Americans are not in favor of. And we have evidence based on the last election. The mood of the country has changed. And a lot of people, Bret Easton Ellis, Mark Anderson, pointed out it's musty. It feels like a movie from, 3-4 years ago that people might have been revelatory if they released it then, but coming out now seems like things have changed. People, things have changed. So,
they killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Where were you guys when you found that out? I mean,
I think
we were live
on this stream.
We were
live on this stream when we found out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
it's almost like I don't even want to go and see what your reaction was. I remembered mine. I walked around for like a week going with my head in the clouds. What the fuck just happened? How can this happen?
And it got, brushed under the rug, and the way the mainstream media reacted to it was, it was creepy. It was I've never seen anything like that in my ever. That's how propagandized.
The celebration thing that really freaked me out, and it was more of a scare thing. Like, these people really feel totally comfortable doing this.
Yeah.
And some of it was it was just awful. But then like a couple weeks later, have you've seen these ones with like blue hair, tattoo face, pierced people are like, that's it. Can't do it anymore. I'm done with the Democrat.
No. It's so, COVID was the greatest transfer of wealth in our history. That time after Charlie Kirk's death was the greatest transfer of friendships in history, where people were just, oh fuck yeah. My wife and I, half of our friends that we even stayed in touch with on Facebook, fuck off. We were done because it was it was a podcaster and a YouTuber getting assassinated for his ideas. So
pretty much,
and the culture war since November, a big shift was kind of in disarray. Like especially the right, the middle, everything was kind of in disarray. That galvanized it again when somebody saw, oh, the culture war killed somebody. Yeah. And not the first time, and it won't be the last time, but I think that really showed a lot of people that this thing is fucking real. It's never not been real. And that's why, we keep it to Star Wars and stuff. We talk about the entertainment side, but it's always been a bigger picture here. And I talked about it in my Tolkien video, which is this is a war for our culture. They want to tear it down. And there's great sympathy. I still see memes. It's disgusting, but the left really likes memeing Charlie Kirk. They're making statues, they're making 3D figures, they're making T-shirts of a guy getting shot in the neck, and they're laughing at it. That's demonic behavior. Absolutely,
it's totally demonic. Like, you see that one lady with everybody's like, you're about to see a demon, and she was just like laughing and my god, it freaked me out, dude. Chills down the spine.
No, it's great acts of evil, and these are people that, like, in our life that we totally thought were cool, and I'm not a one issue guy. Like, if somebody hates Trump, I'm still going to be your friend. I don't care. That shit doesn't bother me. But when you're celebrating death, something I would not do if it happened to somebody on the other side at all. I don't even want to say a name because it would be taken the wrong way, but you guys know what I mean. If somebody was, I would not be celebrating it. And it's like, you don't have to like the guy at all. You don't. But you don't go, I'm glad he's dead. I mean, that's a deep-seated personal problem. And it really shows, we live in a very affluent society, which allows us to have time to bitch about Star Wars and other people to bitch, like, create 72 genders and become deer people and furries. And, and maybe we're too affluent. I don't know. Maybe we need something to put some strife in some people's lives because they lack meaning and they get so caught up in the theater of politics that they really start believing what they're fed, and they start believing half the country is Nazis, and so much hate fills their heart that they are dancing on somebody's grave. And it's really disturbing to see. And I know it disturbed a lot of people, and I know most people wouldn't. Like, there was a lot of normal people from Hollywood called it out and said, this is fucking awful. I didn't agree with the guy, but it was awful. And thanks to them for saying that. But after seeing that, that did change something, Troy. And it made things a lot more serious.
That was our JFK, man. I remember my father told me, he's like, before that shot rang out in 1963, I think, when JFK was shot, I was like, whatever America was before that shot, we're not getting that back. Yeah. Charlie Kirk was our generation's JFK with that. Whatever that was, whatever we were before that, we're not getting that back. But you're right. I mean, one of the things, I think I was more shocked about those reactions in the celebration, right? Because it almost kind of sold me this idea that we've let this go unchecked for so long. We almost like let these almost like we let them have their tantrums and don't really interrupt or try to, like, because they're like children, they'll lose it, right?
Yeah.
We just try to stay away from it. But in doing that, now they feel very comfortable going way over the line, way over the line, where even there's a whole bunch of black dudes and black chicks going, that's it. I can't do it anymore. I'm leaving you. you know? And it's funny too, because the idea of, I look at those words, I can't do it anymore.
Right.
That means that while they were doing it, they were knowledgeable that it was all bullshit.
Yep.
Whatever it is, you know, they knew that they were full of it at these protests, and now if we've let that go on, we've let that go on too long. It's seeped into the media. They use these terms that are like, it's shocking to sort of regular people to hear that. I remember right after I turned on the news, and there was a guy going, it was probably a stray bullet from one of his conservative fans who brought a gun. You know. And I was like, are you kidding me? But what this has to start with, there's no way it gets any better, because we're now relying on them to self-regulate. It's going to take pundits, it's going to take podcasters, and it's going to take news people and politicians going, we have to stop talking like this.
Yep.
It's totally fucking irresponsible. It's going to take them to do it. You know, otherwise it's just Republicans and Democrats yelling at each other
the whole time, which isn't getting us fucking anywhere. And you know, that's Trump is here as a response to the Obama presidency and just years and years, and not just Obama, Bush, all of it. He is, the people are done with the corruption. We're done with the fighting. And I think Charlie Kirk showed us that this is a long fight. Like, this ain't going to happen. This is going to take generations to fix, if it gets fixed. And we have to, what you just said, we all want to be left alone. Most normal people's like, leave me alone. I want to walk my dog. I want to go to work, check out a good movie, you know, and live my life. They won't leave you alone. And now we have to get involved. Now, and I'm guilty as anybody. Like, I never, because I couldn't vote, Troy, never paid attention, didn't care. And then I looked up one day in San Francisco, which was run by Democrats. It was now half run by communists, like outright socialist communists. That's half the city council. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, and then it got worse. And it's because most of us they take advantage of the middle class and the working class, because we're busy. We're fucking busy. Going to work every day. We ain't got time to argue over politics 3 hours a day. We got maybe 4 or 5 hours of free time a day if we're lucky. And we don't have time for that. They take advantage of that. And they know that most of us are too busy, and they know we're not going to get involved. And they had the time, being trust fund kids or students or whatever. A lot of rich people backing this up. And we can't afford that anymore. And you're right. We've also had institutions like MSNBC and CNN, which are failed institutions, get propped up by major corporations and whatever else. And we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the day where Zaslav and Warner Brothers cut CNN off.
Me too. But I mean, to further your point there, the idea, do you remember, like, back in the day, I remember talking with my grandfather and my dad, and they had this idea that exactly what you just said. We don't want to be bothered with this. We're electing you people to go we're paying you our tax dollars to go handle this crap. But every time we flip on a TV, you've got a bill comes out. One side goes, it's the absolute worst thing ever that's going to destroy America. And the other side goes, no, this is the second coming of Jesus Christ that's going to solve everything. So we're getting it in two opposite directions and getting torn apart here, when all the rest of us just want to have a barbecue and go, you know, you guys, we're paying you to do your jobs. Go handle this. And now look where we are. Government shut down, and liberals blaming the Republicans when they filibustered this whole thing. It's like a lot of people don't even, we shouldn't be bothered to have to, like, if there's a bill coming out, am I supposed to, you're going to count on me to read it? I don't read bills. I pay my taxes. You handle that shit.
Right? And they don't read the bills. And they make them so big so you can't read them. And it's a big fucking party for both parties. And they just keep it going, and they pretend to argue, but they also go to lunch with each other and shoot the shit. And that's most of them.
All right. Well, then there's a much more disturbing question here, you know, the way I'm seeing it. After Charlie Kirk, there was this cry from the left. It's like both sides are responsible for an equal amount of political violence, right? Do you two think? Do you three think that that's true? Let's go with. Do you actually think that the left and the right are equal when it comes to acts of political violence currently in the United States?
No, I don't think they're
No.
equal. No,
No.
it's
No.
pretty. Yeah,
If you just
See,
look at
I-
the reaction of the death of Floyd versus Kirk, it's
Well, they'll
No.
bring up January
Yeah.
6th as an act of political violence, and they broke some windows, and they shouldn't have gone in, but the doors were open. We know it was an op, and there was a lot of feds there. But they completely ignore the Summer of Love. They completely ignore what's going on in Portland right now and what went on in Portland after the Summer of Love for a year. They completely ignore the assassination attempt at the baseball game. And yes, there was an assassination of 2 Democrats in Minnesota, which was fucking terrible. And but that guy had a no Kings flyers in his car. So explain that. Although it was murky on that, but but you got one, and then we have all the school shootings, which were trans people targeting religious schools and little children. So no, it's way out of balance because they own the media, they own the rhetoric, and they're always accusing the side of common sense. I'm not a Republican, I'm an independent, but they always accuse the Republicans and then people like Joe Rogan, who used to be a Democrat, of rhetoric, which is just questioning things. None of us have ever called for violence. And what do we see constantly now is, well, I'm glad Charlie Kirk is dead, and people are calling for assassinations now. You know, we
didn't even mention they shot Trump in the fucking face and tried to do it again.
We have one of the most
well,
prominent.
The good thing is they solved that mystery. I'm so glad all the information came out.
That was really well done.
We still don't know shit about that
is
guy,
fucking crazy, isn't it?
That kid,
the only 20-year-old who ever lived who had no digital footprint ever. Fucking insane. But then we have one of the most prominent streamers on Twitch, Hassan Piker, like literally calling for blood, and he's fine. It's fine. No problem. Oh yeah, he does. I mean,
I wonder if Trump's like quietly having that looked into, because if I was him, I'd be like, give me everything about this. Who did this?
Trump is petty enough to go after absolutely everybody, and I'm not.
I hope he does.
I'm not entirely against it. I don't like overreaching government and state power, but dude, if Hassan Piker's not going to get taken down by abusing his fucking dog, nothing's going to take him down, because that's the one thing you just don't do in America and most other civilized countries. Yeah. But it sucks. But the good thing is, I think it woke a lot of people up to what's going on, just like COVID did, and more people are getting aware. And I think more and more people are coming together on both sides going, okay, like this is getting way out of control. And obviously we can't count on our politicians to do this. We need to fix it. Trump isn't going to fix it. Congress isn't going to fix it. Governor Abbott's not going to fix it. It's going to have to be us. And it's going to take a lot of time. And those of us who had kids, we have motivation. And for the people who don't, you have brothers and sisters who have kids, or your friends have kids. It's really important that we fix this now, or it's never going to get fixed. And it's getting to be too late.
Yeah. I feel that every day. I'm like, if we let this go on for so long, if we let the kids throw tantrums, in the romper room for so long, that we can't put a lid on this, because we also know that it's going to take not nobody here. We're all the ones, reacting at least, calmly and saying this. It's going to take the people on the left, the true progressives, to self-regulate. And so far, I haven't seen many of them get the message. Yeah, they'll say that stuff from earlier, Gary, like fucking, oh yeah, I may not have agreed with them, but nobody should be killed. And then their next sentence will be, it's the right that commits more political violence.
Exactly. and I think it's for self-preservation, but people like Bill Maher, he's coming around and he's making more sense, but he always stops to where he like, but I'd still vote for Kamala Harris. And it's like, are you kidding? Like, when are you going to make that step forward? And, he even met with Trump and had a positive meeting with Trump. So we need more people on the left, fucking Jon Stewart. A lot of people saw him as like the rational person on the left. He's never been that way. And he's had a great opportunity. Like, at least he called it out too. He did. But they really, the left exposed themselves after Charlie Kirk when Jimmy Kimmel was suspended for 4 days. And they jumped on that like that was the worst crime in history. And the reason they did it because they wanted to change the narrative away from Charlie Kirk.
You think so?
Yes,
I think
100%.
I don't think we should have bought into that at all. The idea of the right or just conservatives in this country canceling people. I wish we hadn't. I wish we hadn't taken the bait on that.
I mean, like, I'll quote Gavin McInnes. Is it hypocritical? Yes. Do I give a fuck? No. Not with Jimmy Kimmel's case. But he didn't get canceled. We were just like, haha, look at what happened to you. Taste of your own medicine. But he didn't get a taste of his own medicine. He got a ratings boost, and then it went back to earth. But that's the problem. Is rules for radicals, Troy, is one of them is use your use your opponent's values against them.
Yeah. And change the narrative like at the drop of a dime. And it's so funny too how they're looking at the wrong things, right? They're going, "Oh, everybody's talking about this now, and that's bad for us. So now we have to do something to stop that," rather than addressing the actual issues within it. And how many times have we seen they try? Remember the first time they tried that, dude. It was with the fuck was that thing? Remember the pangolin? It wasn't a lab leak.
Yeah,
it was this fucking thing and a guy eating soup. There was a dude eating soup over there, made out of this prehistoric looking fucking dinosaur. That's what happened.
Dude, back to Kimmel real quick. I knew he was going to get let off. I never thought for a second he was going to get fired permanently for it. And if it was indeed like the Trump administration and the state coming down going, fire this guy, and you did, I'm against that. I am not against them, a company, if the company suspended him for a couple of days. And I'm also not against like, hey, this is a great opportunity to get bump in ratings, which, I mean, Twitch streamers, YouTubers do it all the time. I'm canceled. I've been attacked, and it boosts them. It absolutely boosts them. So all bets are on the table, but he's back on the air. And the greatest thing of all is his ratings have now gone to shit again. And, he's going to probably be gone in a year. Stephen Colbert's going to be gone in the year because nobody's watching him. They're getting removed because they're not good at their job.
It's the same thing with Springsteen in the article we've been doing.
Yep.
These guys chose to do this.
Yep.
It's like they shot themselves in the foot. It is because people hate Springsteen, most likely that they're not interested in his movie. And it's because a whole bunch of people are completely offended by Kimmel with all this politics stuff he does that they don't want to see him anymore. And guess what? The guy was pretty fun. I remember watching that show.
Back in the day, it was fine. Yeah, like it was he had his little bands play in the back, and they none of that shit was happening. And what they did was we got to get to the people here, but what they did see money in criticizing Trump, and there was a ratings boost. It really helped CNN, but this was like 8 years ago. It ain't helping now. It ain't working now. Yeah. And again, nobody's asking you to like them at all. It's just remember that there's an entire America out there, and we're always, poor Keira Knightley. The J.K. Rowling thing, she was asked about, like, do you know there's a boycott against J.K. Rowling because, she thinks men are men and women are women. And Keira Knightley just laughed and said, no, I'm not aware of it. And, we just got to learn to get along. And they tore her apart. They tore her apart for that. See, we can't, like you said, we've let them get away with this shit. They were in control of so much shit. They ran Twitter with impunity, and just people woke up. People woke up one day and go, I'm going to cancel somebody. There's a friend of ours named Carolyn who worked for
Video
limited
games.
limited run
Run
games.
Yeah.
And she put up a tweet going, "Hey, I'm really enjoying this Harry Potter game. It's really fun." Some trans dude decides to dig up old tweets from like, correct me if I'm wrong, X-Ray Girl, 2012. Really old tweets. We'll say years old tweets. She might even be in the chat. And got her fired. And just because that person woke up one day and goes, "Well, this person's enjoying a Harry Potter game," and that's from the transphobe. I mean, that's
Okay, but that's kind of my point, right?
Yep.
They're the ones
Yep.
that do cancellation, and
Yep.
they loved
Yep.
that. Like when they figured that one out, they did it all the time, just to regular people,
Yeah.
like
It
your
made them
friend.
feel
I think
powerful.
there was a couple of dads down in East fucking Arkansas or something. They got in an argument with two trans boys that were going to a prom, and they got canceled. Everybody called up the dude's employer. That hurts his family on the street. They love that. Which is why I hate the idea of conservative
I do too.
canceling.
Going over, if you're going to get some people on their ideas now and beat them on our ideas, and I think the common sense and right now the right beat them on their ideas every time. You can just do that, and things are turning around. So recognize that.
You know what? Also,
I
in
know
the
we want
industry,
blood.
man,
I know, and like I get it. I get it.
do you guys think the pendulum's swinging back the other way a little bit in the movie industry and the TV industry?
It
Yes,
seems that way.
yes. Here's what I'll say. I think, and I'm quoting Mark Andreessen, and I agree. The fever has broken, right?
That's
They
good.
Get it? Like, oh, the fever's broken. This stuff isn't working. Objectively, these movies aren't making money, but it's like trying to take a battleship and turn it 180. It's gonna take. You won't see movies change until like 2027.
all
But
right. So
the smart people have already pivoted. Like this movie I
Yeah.
talked about, Song Sung Blue. It's like a movie Hollywood used to make with Hugh Jackman, and it focuses on, and you might know this filmmaker, Craig Brewer. He did a movie called Hustle and Flow, Black
Oh, yeah.
Snake Moan.
Yeah.
He tells stories about working class people. And he talked about like they used to make movies about working class, blue collar. Star Wars is about a trucker, a farmer, and a war veteran who saved the galaxy, right?
Mhm.
Boondock
they-
Saints, very working class.
Working class, blue
movie,
collar.
yeah.
And Hollywood, who they choose to champion and make the heroes of movies, no one can relate to. It's in the case of that Julia Roberts movie, she's a professor at a university. It's like these like one battle after another, these Antifa a-holes. It's like what who are you propping up to be the heroes in films, the centerpiece? It used to be working class, normal, average Americans that everyone could relate to, or like that's why Song Sung Blue really hit me with that way. It's just like people, they show how much they struggle just to survive. That's a lot of people now.
Yep.
And they don't make movies like that anymore. Anyways, sorry, we got to get.
Listen, I'm stealing that, Gore.
Steal it.
Steal it
We gotta get
away.
to the people.
I'm stealing that the fever has broke. That is
Yes.
the perfect way to put it.
Yes.
Maybe the
broke, but-
pendulum hasn't swung all the way. The patient still needs to rest,
Yeah.
take a couple of shots, but he's going to live.
It's gonna take a couple years, but is the audience still gonna be there?
Well, I mean, it's going to be. We got to get to the people, but it's going to change. So, Clownfish just did a great video 2 nights ago on the animation industry, covering somebody else. But essentially, it was a guy saying, with 30 years of experience in animation, saying, the days of pitching are over. Now you have to build your own platform. You have to sell your own idea directly to the people. It's going to be a little harder. You're going to have to be creator and showman at the same time. But that's what it's changing to. And it's going to be more regional. You're not going to have the big water cooler hit anymore. And I think that's fine. I think
Who are
you can still make a living.
Where's the next PT Barnums? We need a bunch of PT Barnums out there.
Yep.
That know how to sell shit, know how to promote stuff, let the people know without having to use their networks.
And be entertaining while they're doing it,
Okay.
So we go to Patty Bake. for $20 on the Streamlabs side. Says, Gary, I wanted to say this the other night. You got to watch Chainsaw Man. It's anime for non-anime fans. Nothing like the gay pop demon movie. Episode 1 hooks you and only gets better. No bullshit. Just great storytelling and beautiful gory animation. Hell, I like the art in it. I do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the concept that he just wants to touch a boob.
Everybody can relate to that. Talk about relating to people. There you go.
Do you watch animation?
Some. I watch some.
I got to recommend for you real
Okay.
quick. Devil May Cry. Have you seen that? It's on Netflix. You can catch it.
I have not seen it, but I will check it out.
It is totally just 90s. Everyone's got a gun. It's almost like every 5 minutes, just boom. It's awesome.
Cool. I'll check it out. Put it on my list anyway. Arg, another name for 1999. Regarding the Kirk shooting, lots of people failed the basic humanity test and showed that they really showed who they really are. The sort of people that would have been informers to the members of the Stasi or the NKVD. Yes. Yep.
Damn.
You know, I seem to recall Gina putting up a post about that and then getting fired.
Yeah.
Natrum for 1,000 Martian pesos. What pisses me off is how much Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are incompetent at their jobs. The FBI has access to technology that we can't imagine, including Palantir. But they can't catch a bunch of rinky-dink psychos on Reddit. I agree. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to push back on that. Ready?
Go.
During the entire Biden administration, they didn't catch one person on the FBI's top 10 list.
Really?
No.
Kash Patel's already got 6.
He's got 6?
Wow.
I did not
6
know that.
so
All
far.
right. I sit corrected.
Wow.
I still want, well, and they did dump 33,000 pages of the Epstein stuff. But listen, that was nobody kept the list of that. And Razorfist put it best. It's hard to blackmail people who are in jail. So the powers that be that go way above Trump. But yeah, I know we want more and we were promised more. And I want to see like all of them go down. But I really like to know a lot more about the guy who almost killed Trump. Like,
yeah, me too. But I mean, I think people were expecting that we were going to see, young people getting raped by powerful politicians with this whole Epstein thing. That was never going to happen.
no.
So, I mean, I'm pissed off too. I'd like to know more about it.
Yeah, we know it happened. I just don't think we were ever going to see it. So, and it continues to this day. Genius Anus for $5.
Oh shit! Is that a real one?
Hey,
Yep.
that's a smart butt. I only have one massively important question for Troy. Is it dead?
Oh, you motherfuckers! Is it dead? That's the iconic line from Rocco after he killed the cat. No, it's not dead. Go get the book. Hopefully, we can play the book trailer at the end, maybe on our outreach.
Yeah.
You know, it would be an honor for me, Gary,
What's that?
if you did one of your scathing reviews of the book trailer.
Okay.
Just make it nasty. Be like, this ham-fisted son of... It's woke.
It's woke.
Even
It's
Duffy
derivative. Contrived. I can use all those critic words.
And just slip in lesbian space witch from the afterlife. Just somewhere
It
in
needs a lesbian space witch, probably. How bad is Hollywood that they've made lesbians boring? Like, come on.
there. I know. Remember back in our day, we used to be like, oh my God, it's lesbians.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We used to be a proper country.
Yeah.
A jackass of all trades for $10. Troy, when I was in film school in the early 2000s, you were an inspiration for literally every dude in my filmmaking class. How are you perceived nowadays with how the climate currently is?
Well, it's almost like I've been, retired for all this time after we did 2 in 2010.
Yeah.
So the strange thing is, man, what's this guy's name, Gary?
It is a jackass of all trades.
Jackass of all trades. I have been, I've been getting contacted and sort of tracked down, and I may be doing some things behind the camera and come out of retirement here a little bit. Glad to have helped with you and your film school guys. But yeah, I'd like to get back behind the camera on some small things. Like you mentioned earlier, Gary, that the comedies, we're losing the comedy. And I got this comedy me and my friend wrote, and it's essentially about a guy that has to go back to male stripping to save his family at 54. All right,
it's Gary's story.
Yeah,
it's already a funny premise, and it won't cost too much to make. So I'm gonna try to do things like that. And thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Toivo for €5 says X-Ray Girl would make a perfect Twitch streamer. Over 3 hours of streaming, speaks maybe 5 words, reactions limited to "oh wow" and "oh my god." That might be a little too much for Twitch. It might be a little too much.
And speaking in anime voice,
Yeah.
X-Ray Girl.
Ooh.
Ooh, woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That was perfect.
Robert Hayes for $9.99. Hail. So I watched Shaun of the Dead last night, and oh boy, you couldn't make that movie today using gay as an insult, calling cigarettes fags. Yeah. Nope. No, you couldn't. But man, watch. It's one of the great. That's again one of my all-time favorites, Edgar Wright, and I'm hearing actually pretty decent things about Running Man. His work on Running Man. It's a very different type of Running Man than Arnold's, but God, I hope he kills it because that guy's a great director.
Yep.
Silo full of Cool Ranch Doritos for $5 says woke ideology has destroyed artist alleys at Comic-Cons. You're right. I've seen it to the point where it is known it's known as a giant virtue signal. Also, crappy fan art as well. And also just way too many crappy prints, Marvel prints and Star Wars prints that are just basically putting a filter over a picture. Artist Alley used to be something. JB24 for 2 Canadian pesos says, why is Gary reversed? And he said it in reversed. That's I don't know why that happened.
I fixed it. It was weird.
You did, but yeah, it just like defaulted to that. And
But the weird thing is you look normal on my screen before I fixed it.
I was looking at it in OBS. I'm like, and I didn't notice it. I'm like, what's different? Something feels different about it. David Musselman for $10 says, Gary, can you give a shout out to Literature Devil's latest Indiegogo campaign, Lady Midnight? It's got a week left and could use all the help it could get. Shout out to Literature Devil. Hey, we got a shout out. Oh, man. X-Ray Girl, can you find this real quick? Because I promised a shout out. Mark Miller's book. Hang on.
I'll check your DMs.
I
think he put it there in his Twitter.
Kickstarter, right?
It'll be on his Twitter. I'll find it. Conquered
ends, and it's a fantasy realm invading our world, and Mark Miller's a great comic book writer. Troy, he you know that movie, The Kingsman, that's his. Kick-Ass is his. Friend of the channel, good guy. So,
I love him. Then I love him.
I cannot wait. I love this concept. I cannot wait to read it. He's always teaming up with brilliant artists. And Mark is just a good dude. And
yeah, dude, you got to leave some time so I can do you the Hollywood pitch on the comic I've got for you.
Oh, we will. Okay. Oh, hell yeah, we will. We'll get through this. We might go a little over, Chris. Chris, are you okay, or do you need to go? Chris is getting coffee.
He's getting coffee.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You get your coffee, Chris. We'll get this. But yeah, please support Mark Miller. He's a great dude. He'll talk to anybody. He's so not Hollywood. It's brilliant, and love the man to death. You should publish a new Boondock Saints book through Ripasend. No sensitivity readers there, says Eodite for $5.
What's Ripasend?
So Ripa Reverse is a comic company started by my friend Eric July, and he does Ripasend, which is basically, it's not crowdfunding, it's pre-ordering. So you offer your book up for a pre-order, and then he handles all the fulfillment, which is, you know, for guys like me and independent authors who don't have access to publishers, the hardest part if you're going to do crowdfunding is fulfillment. He handles all the fulfillment, takes a percentage. It's actually a really great idea, and I'm glad I did it. So
check it out.
And he's a publisher, and he's doing great.
We're kind of doing it the reverse way. We released with Boondock Saints Volume 1, we released the audiobook and the ebook. So we don't have like a physical book. And I'd really like to get that.
Yeah. Ooh,
you know,
that'd be cool. How am I saying this name, X-Ray Girl?
Commander 062.
Okay. There was just a lot of consonants there, not enough.
Command
vowels.
062.
Command
sorry.
062 for $30. Thank you. Says I sent a super chat on Friday Night Tights, but maybe it missed on the roundup. Well, we're doing a roundup probably tonight. But I may have missed the roundup. The Burroughs estate approved a John Carter animated series with the former Disney Star Wars writer as showrunner, Michael Cogg. How worried do we need to be? Pretty worried. I would love to see a proper freaking John Carter done. But I anybody from Disney, I have no faith. Nate Scott for $5. Chris has legendary rants. Can't wait until ChrisCon. He does. Chris has some of the best rants. War Van Eagle TV for $4.99. That Hollywood pizza that Chris Gore is referring to is called Cece's. Cece's Pizza? I think I've eaten.
He's talking about the ones that suck, like you get a bad pizza 5 times and then go back to it.
Yeah, the one he was
That's
talking
an
about
actual
that.
spot? Oh my God.
I think so. You might be right, War Van. It's been a minute since I've been there. I worked there for 2 years, Troy, and that was enough for me. Michael Steele for 2 Canadian pesos. I'm not paying $50 for these kind of movies. Most people feel that way. And that's what it is. 2 people going to a movie, and if you buy a popcorn and a Coke, it's $50. And then that's not counting the parking if you live in a place like San Francisco or LA. War Van Eagle TV for $4.99. Make America grow again. Have a nooner while watching this nooner. Yeah, act now to receive a child tax credit in 2026. Hey, make babies. Gristle McThornbody for $5. Human resources, in quotes, is a mindset and has infected everything. And who dominates the HR field? Women. Bubba Doom 1 for $5. I deeply miss going to the dollar movies, sticky floors, used casino carpeting, candies snuck in, but good movies every weekend. I miss the 80s and 90s. Yep.
So do I.
Dollar Tuesday.
Women dominate HR.
Yes, they do, Chris. Chris had to come in with his misogyny late, but we appreciate it. Kimmel was never canceled. He could have gone on to other platforms to speak his piece. He also came back 6 days later. Last I checked, Charlie is still dead. Yep, Axel, he is dead. Kimmel will now go to start his own podcast, and it'll probably fail. Speaking, because he won't have his 21 union writers. Speaking of publishing, tell Troy about Milking Farm. Oh God, Robert Hayes.
Oh no.
Oh.
Clitlet.
X-Ray Girl, you could tell him about Milking Farm. Your girl.
Well,
what is it?
Smutty women books, they've been around before, dirty, sex inside it, but it's kind of like an open book of like the most degenerate content.
Milking Farm is about a woman who goes to blow a minotaur in a glory hole.
She works at a glory hole, and then she ends up falling in love with this minotaur. There's a line in the book that's like, I'm a good feminist, but if he asked me to blow him, I would fall face first.
Jesus. Oh man, it's just this weird timing. I just got asked to do there's a comedy thing coming up called, I think it's called Smut Fest, something like that. It's got there's rock stars, comedians, and porn stars, and they want me to listen to a bunch of guys that want to direct a porn scene and pick the director who is then going to shoot his porn scene.
Do you get travel for this or something?
Yeah, they're gonna fly me out to New Orleans.
Oh hell yeah, go!
Wow,
why not?
I'm totally doing it just to see what the hell's happening.
Hell
out
yeah!
There. But a couple of my comedian buddies are playing, so it's gonna be great.
Right on. And New Orleans I was gonna say it's either New Orleans or Vegas where that's happening. Chad A for $99.99. Hail Chad! You're a Chad.
Right,
oh wait, that was too short. There we go. Troy and Gary could have Sean Flannery on the show next. Also, discuss the film I wrote with Rodimus Para. Snouts. We're asking him to star in it, My colleague has a Christmas comedy releasing next month called Gingerbread Men that needs visibility and love. I'll check it out, Chad. What kind
All
of
right, Gingerbread Men? Not bad.
Oh my God, Christmas is right around the corner. Can't wait. Rated, and thank you, Chad. We appreciate that, and good luck. Rated M for $9.99 says Fever broke, but Hollywood also isn't subsidized like it was fueling bad decisions anymore. I grew up in PR with yearly hurricanes, blue cities, really lack humbling, unifying, genuine moments to bring them to reality. So what I think you're saying is they have not been. The one thing people love is self-deprecation, especially here in the UK. Not the UK. Why did I say UK? In the US and the UK. We love self-deprecation and we love authenticity. So who was it who just came? Oh my God. See, I'm blanking on the name now. Jennifer Lawrence just came out and said, hey, I totally realized that some of my previous press was cringe. It was terrible. And that's what we need from Hollywood. We need realness going, I said some stupid shit before. Yeah. If Rachel Zegler came out and said, you know what I said before was fucking dumb. It was dumb. I'm sorry.
America likes a nice oops and I'm sorry. It's not that difficult.
Human.
It's why I like Jennifer Lawrence. Did you see her, that hot take show where they eat hot wings?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You got to check out hers, man. It's hilarious.
I think she bought into like the Hollywood hype and what she was supposed to say, and what she was saying now is like, it was cringe. And like, boom, problem solved. And we said
love
this,
you again.
Yeah, that's all it takes. And if Rachel Zegler of all people came out and go, I'm really sorry. I was a fucking idiot. I was young. I thought I was saying what I was. Just say something and be humble, and you would have a career again. People would completely accept her again, and people, even in this sphere, would go, "Good."
Yeah, I wonder how much of this stuff is people going, is these celebrity actors going, well, I really, I bit into this burger, so I got to keep going.
Yeah,
like it doesn't even occur to them how easy it is. If Robert freaking De Niro came out and said, you know what, I was on some meds.
Yeah,
I didn't know what I was doing, man, and I'm sorry.
Look,
that's it. That's all it would take.
Watch the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix. It's freaking great. And that guy,
you guys have given me I've been writing down all these things to watch.
You want to talk about a redemption story, and he's so open about it, but this dude had a very public cocaine binge, blew what was one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid actor in a sitcom ever, blew it completely, and came out the other side, and a guy who's uber talented, by the way, was a great actor, and just he has demons, and now he's sober. He's got AIDS. He talked about everything he did when he was on coke, and I love it. I think it's great, and we need a lot more of that. Humility.
Big redemption story, man. People are kind of I'm loving him now. He's been sober for what, 6-8 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Cut the guy some slack. He's sorry.
Highly recommend it. And of course, there's Robert Downey Jr., who great redemption story. War Van Eagle TV for $4.99. Tron. Gary's is the next installment of the Tron franchise. It takes place in the multiverse where a dozen Gary variants are guests on Piers Morgan. Arguing with myself. I do that all the time in my spare time. Hail Piers, by the way. Gamer Gramps for $5. Is this the political balance you mentioned last week? I would hope so. I would love to see balance. I don't think you've ever heard me or Chris or even Jeremy say, we want, I want my politics written in the art. I don't. I would love for the pendulum to swing in the middle again, and we approach it as we're all Americans. We're not going to preach to you, and certainly I might have a side on things. Like I said, Star Trek. Star Trek appealed to a lot of people. We all know where they came from. We all know what side they came from, but they would at least consider the other side, and pretty well at times. Gristy McThornby for $5 says the left has no rules of engagement, and it's why they are so effective. I have zero issue with the right finally waking up and doing the same, and it was inevitable. Whether we like it or not, it was inevitable. If you push that hard, then the other side does it. And once a precedent is set by one president or political party, the other side will do it against you eventually. Psychotic Mongoose, thank you for gifting 1 Nerdrotic membership. Hail, brother. Matthew Hammond for $2. Where is today's Gung Ho or Over the Top? Exactly. Love those movies. Nordstrom.
Zapped.
Yeah.
With Scott Baio. Well, let's do a Zapped reboot.
I remember Zapped. Nordstrom for 300 Martian pesos. The infiltration by the activists has been long and methodical. True. It wasn't until 2014 when Gamergate kicked off that we saw it front and center. Yep. And then Gamergate kicked off and it went into publishing. It went into comics. It went into movies. It went into TVs. It went into freaking knitting communities. Yeah. Yeah.
Where my knitters at? Come on,
my
knitters.
All Sydney Sweeney gives me also Sydney Sweeney gives me a tent pole, says Axel Foley.
Nice one.
You sent me a picture, Chris.
I
What
did.
kind of picture?
I met her last weekend at
Ooh.
AFI Fest. It was
Oh.
very cool.
She's hot. Do you all remember the cartoon show Mighty Max? Yes. Do you think a continuation reboot could work? Was action-packed and had a villain voiced by Tim Curry. You never know.
That was Tim Curry?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Bless Tim Curry. Matthew Hammond for $2. Where's a movie like Death Wish or Dirty Harry? They remade Death Wish with Bruce Willis. 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Eli Roth did it. Right?
That's really all. I think they're actually, that's one of the reasons they're probably still doing well, because they just remake all the old stuff. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day that was like, all they're doing is rehashing and remaking all the old movies we saw. But I'd love to see a Dirty Harry remake.
We need.
You know who would be good too? Who's that? Who's the guy that plays Ray Donovan?
Oh, I'm blanking on his name now.
Yeah,
You know what
but
I'm talking
I
about.
can see his face.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
All right,
Yeah.
see, this is
I love that actor.
Oh God, it happens every time.
Every
And there are
time.
3 of us.
He played Sabretooth.
God, that guy.
Leave Schreiber. Leave Schreiber.
Schreiber. Thank you.
Leave Schreiber.
God, Don.
Got Veritas Aquatus tattooed in the army. Getting married tomorrow to my lady in 15 years. Hail, Troy! And all hail.
Hey, congratulations.
Alex.
We got a lot of. Consider naming your kid Murphy, because everyone names him Connor for some reason.
Yeah, try Murphy. Wandering Wolf has a GoFundMe for his sick nephew. His nephew got in an
ATV
accident. ATV accident. Yeah. Buddy of mine, Michael Collins. Horrible.
Had surgery.
Yeah. I got to
so-
check and see how he's doing. If any mods could put that link in, that'd be great.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
will put it in for
Thank
the
you.
chat. Thank you.
Niall9286 on the Streamlabs side for $5. Hey, dudes. I'm from Germany. My younger brother used to be an avid hunter, but then he joined the university, and within a couple of years, he turned into a hardcore vegan, pro-Palestine, LGBTQ+, anti-white people, you name it guy. And he even quit contact with me. Yeah, people need to stop sending their kids to university, going into debt. Also, they could just hate their parents and learn nothing. When universities are teaching courses that Tolkien is racist, it's over. Go learn a trade. Be underwater welding, dangerous, pays a lot of money. A lot of money. That Fackham Hall trailer made me laugh harder than any film in recent memory. Gives me some hope for the comedy genre. And Chris had pointed out, watch the Red Band one, Golem Wolf for $4.99. It's fucking funny. Evil Black Cat for $10. I used to work at Blockbuster when Saints came out. We had a lot of copies. Nobody rented it. I watched it and loved it. I recommended it to everyone, and it was out of stock for weeks after that. The power.
Man. I've heard that story so many times, man. So the first time we touched the public was Blockbuster, and the first fans were like, how come this wasn't in theaters?
Yeah.
You know, they were pissed off. They were like, well, you Hollywood assholes finally make a good one. You don't even release it in theater.
No, it became a cult classic, and that's the power. When I was at the comic shop, or when I worked at the warehouse, Troy, the warehouse, and I was in the video department. And when we found a movie that we liked, we tried to get more of them. We pushed them on everybody, and it was because we just wanted to share like what we love, And it was pretty easy to sell a comic. Oh my God, my memory is shit today, Chris. John Cusack movie where he's the record store owner.
High Fidelity.
So in High Fidelity, there's a great scene where Cusack's all, I'm going to sell 10 copies of this right now. And he just puts it on, sits back and waits, and all that. Like, that shit happened all the time. All the time. And it has to be good, for one. It has to be good, but that little recommendation, that little push helped a lot. And we've lost that. We've lost
employee favorites, man. I used to walk. That's the first thing I would walk in a video store. Employee recommends. They'll have a shelf of like 3 movies.
God, I love High Fidelity. I love that movie. John Cusack's a fucking idiot. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up there. We have to show a trailer, and we got to get a pitch from Troy. So let's show the trailer.
All right.
November 17th. YouTube has fucking changed so much shit this year. Come on, stop it. But that looks awesome. So you got a comic pitch.
I got a comic pitch, man. I was drinking last night, and I came up with this.
That's always good.
Here's an actual Hollywood pitch for a comic book to you guys. Title of our comic. Ready?
Ready.
Is Unalive. Gary Beekler is unalive.
Oh, boy.
Not because he kills people, but because he can't be killed. Everyone tests him, thinks they're going to break the code and finally get the prestige of killing the infamous Unalive. So bad guys try him all the time. They try everything. They freeze him, put him through a wood chipper, sink him in cement shoes, burn him at the stake, but he always reforms and has a very painful hangover-like recovery period afterwards. So he hates his superpower. It's totally annoying. But he wreaks revenge on everyone who tries and fails to kill him using his gang of alternatively talented superheroes. Oh, is this the fucking thing?
The Zoom was dramatic, though. It kind of worked, yeah.
No, all right, we'll keep going. Let's meet some of them. X-Ray Girl is simply X. She is to Unalive what Q is to James Bond. She makes little superhero accessories to protect him, but she sucks at it. And all her inventions, though well-intentioned, ultimately work almost the opposite as how they're supposed to and inevitably lead to an even more painful death for Unalive. The duo live together in underground superhero HQ, the secret entrance to their subterranean lair is beneath some bushes in front of a Long John Silver's fish restaurant. We're working in themes. Okay. X's dark secret is she wants to feel what it's like to kill someone. So she's constantly begging Unalive to let her do the deed. He eventually agrees. All right. Chrissy Mayer is dismiss. It stands for disinformation and misinformation. Using her magical fairy-like voice and preternatural PR phrases, she is a spellbinding propagandist. She can turn entire MAGA crowds into flag-burning LGBTQs and vice versa. Disparu is Desperatu, a British vampire who's in a constant state of deep depression.
It's pretty accurate.
He hates that he loses control and often murders innocent people. So the vamp starves himself to the doorstep of complete emaciation and utter hopelessness. But Unalive sees the obvious solution and perpetually navigates Desperatu into eating the packs of bad guys who try to kill him. There's always an innocent nearby who gets sucked dry by Desperatu, and once again, he's right back to Debbie Downer.
British.
1/4 Black Garrett is known simply as the Fob. His superpower is that he transforms into a terrifying 70s style Black Panther ghost and envelops his prey in a wraith-like embrace. When Fob releases, he has turned the Caucasian bad guy full on black.
Oh.
Epic Mike is the rabbi.
Oh, he's going to be stoked that you're bringing
And a counterpoint to Fob. He transforms into a Zionist ghost who spits Yiddish. When he finally liberates his African-American prey, they are not only white, but Jewish. The difference here is that many are grateful. Chris Gore is Kilgore. He seems like a man of nearly perpetual good cheer until he's not. When angered, Kilgore goes full-on Bruce Banner. His head and fists expand to Popeye forearm levels and turn bright red. His shock of white hair spikes out like the Tasmanian devil. He twists around his prey at whirlwind speeds while beating the living shit out of them old school style. Nothing fancy here, but he always ends on a disturbing note like chewing on a guy's severed ear as he equalizes and shifts right back to Mr. fucking Rogers. All right,
Actually good. This is actually really good.
Yeah,
there's still some to be done on this, but I wanted to brainstorm with you on your nemesis. Your nemesis,
let's
Karen.
go.
your nemesis is based on no actual living character. His name is Dark Fuckerberg. Now, Fuckerberg started a big tech company that overtook social media, then made the dark web mainstream, initiating chaos all over the world. So my thoughts on him are like, he's going to want to like go up against Dismiss because she's always taken out all the propaganda he's selling in the world. She's his arch enemy, but he really wants Unalive because he thinks that if he vivisects you in a lab, you hold the secret to him living forever. Fob turns him black one day and he's super pissed and he hides, but then everybody's like, oh my God, you're suddenly cool. So you inadvertently give him a whole new life as cool Dark Fuckerberg. Everybody likes him now. So yeah, I think we should do some shit, man.
I
Great.
like the Unalive concept. It's very
love this
Frankensteinian. I love it. Troy, you're awesome. I appreciate you coming on. We got to get you back on again, and you will be on Film Threat in
like at 2 p.m. Pacific.
2 p.m. Pacific.
Right.
Yeah.
So
cool.
you will continue the conversation. You're welcome
That's
here
right.
every time. You're
Love
awesome.
Film
Again,
Threat.
you're awesome.
All
You're
right.
based. And go check out his audiobook. I've already bought it. I'm going to listen to it. It's going to help me get to Egypt. I'm going to listen to that on the way to Egypt
Hell yeah.
while I'm terrified on a plane. So business class, though. Terrified in business class. What do you got here? I watched Frankenstein yesterday. This is a real quick Natra. I enjoyed it. I love Guillermo del Toro's work. The man is a self-identified pacifist. Notice how in Pacific Rim, he uses civilian ranks like Marshal or Ranger. Yes, Frankenstein, highly recommend that movie. Highly recommend that movie. I was looking forward to it. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. If you can see it in the theater, go see it in the theater. He was given like all the toys, all the money, and it's mostly practical effects. The changes he made to the monster were cool, and it's kind of like a superhero origin story. Chris, have you seen it yet?
I have not, but it's playing really close to me. I plan to go. So I want to see it in a theater. I gotta go.
You gotta
Who directed that? Who directed it?
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh God, I love him.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, he did a great job. He did a great job. Any news on Doomsday casting updates? Nope, not yet. But Chris and I will probably hear something soon.
Yeah, we will.
Prince Alien for $2 says, please make this graphic novel. Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
Ripper, get a meeting with Ripper. Young Ripper.
Who knows?
You never know. He's probably listening. So, hey, thanks again, Troy and Chris and X-Ray Girl. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. The upload will be on Nerdrotic Live later. And then we'll be on Friday Night Tights with Vera Dark and Epic Mike in our costumes that are not politically correct. So
Epic Mike's the rabbi.
Epic Mike.
The rabbi.
Alan and I are doing costumes on Friday as well. Mine, I'm very excited about my costume.
I can't wait to see it.
I worked hard. I don't know what Alan is doing, so it'll be a surprise to me.
You should be Shang-Chi.
I should.
Yep.
Or he was talking about being straight Sulu.
Sulu crushes pussy. All right. Hey, well, Sulu is straight in the show. Even George Takai says Sulu is straight in the show. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, Rabbi Mike. Call him Rabbi Mike from now on. Chat, love you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Adios.
Thanks, everybody.